File acceleration. So let's get a sort of a groundwork, sort of file acceleration 101, so everyone knows exactly what we're talking about. What are the key technologies for accelerating files in the cloud when we move from moving files from your resident hard drive to the remote location? What are the key technologies that are people using to do that these days? Jim, can you give us a brief explanation of that?
Sure. The wide area network acceleration capabilities of many products are, a key toolkit that goes into this. Also, around that will be various algorithms for rapid compression, decompression of file data, and knowledgeable tools that understand how the files are organized on a cloud space versus on a local disk, all work in concert to make this happen without killing you or your cloud service provider's bandwidth.
What about, and Cedric, perhaps you can talk to this, the idea of, file replication, how does file replication fit into the scheme here?
So at NetApp, the way we see things is moving files from one data center to another. That's pretty simple. We have two kind of technology for this replication involving synchronous or asynchronous data replication. So whether you want your data...
Cedric, excuse me, I'm sorry, is that... We hear a sound, I don't know where that could be coming from. It's almost sounds like radio interference. Oh, could it be from Carl? Could it be from your system?
Okay.
Has the spaceship blown up? It sounded like it was almost about to for a moment there.
It looks better now.
We're going to be able to get back to the planet Earth. I'm so happy about that.
All right.
I'm sorry, Cedric, I interrupted you. You were talking about file replication and NetApp's view of that?
The view is pretty simple. So with our Snap technology, so the technology that helps us take a copy of the files, we compress the files, we deduplicate the data. So basically, we remove all the data that is redundant and then send it to the wire.
Gotcha. Carl, anything that you'd add about just sort of the foundational sense of, what is file acceleration? What are the key technologies used in that?
Yeah, so to add on what Jim and Cedric have spoken about, so they obviously are familiar with the space, and there's some benefits that external appliances like WAN optimization solutions can provide, where we look across all of the data being sent across the wire and look for recurring patterns, and obviously try to replace those with small tokens, and then on the far side reconstruct the original data stream. So, and that's over and above. We work in collaboration or conjunction with the Snap Mirror technology, for example, to add additional benefits above that. There's also the ability to tame the nasty protocols that were designed for the LAN environment and enable them to work more efficiently over the WAN. And that's something that a lot of WAN optimization vendors, Citrix included, incorporates in their devices.
Shirish, just in terms of the foundation of file acceleration, we talked about this. There's also a cost component going on here. How does that fit in?
So we primarily look at private cloud in our business, but we do also look at public cloud quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And whether it's private or public, there are certain, I would say, cornerstones to the entire infrastructure you have. And it's interesting who you have on the Hangout today, because we have NetApp, which provides the backend infrastructure, which provides the data centers, as Cedric just mentioned, provides the replication facilities, the redundancy. We have Carl representing Citrix, which really controls the bandwidth, another part of the cost aspect of it. And then we have us on the other end, which represents the caching technologies, the improvement of the user experience of what we are delivering to the user. So it's really interesting that you have set this Hangout together the way it is. Right. And from our perspective, yes, cost is important. We look at cost from two perspectives. First, what is the actual cost of provisioning the service that we leave to the big guys like NetApp to handle? the cost of actually transferring the data over, which really is more the domain of the Citrix WAN acceleration, and then the cost of actually providing that data to the end user, right, which is where we sit. So what we do to do that is really to provide a lot of caching services to make sure that we don't do replication per se. We are actually doing on-demand caching. So if we know that James is about to access a certain file or a certain set of files or a folder, we'll bring that over, but we'll leave the rest of the data set back in the data center with the nodes. And in the process, of course, the Citrix WAN scaler, or the Cloud Bridge architecture is coming in to optimize the transfer over the wire, while we are coming in to provide the coherent caching. So that, to me, is the cost component that all three are working together to deliver optimal cost and an experience at optimal cost.